the next where I'll ask a question. Can you tell us what your typical day looks like, apart from doing PRISM scans?
No, from wake up and
I'm a big believer in owning the morning and prioritising your morning so that whatever needs to get done gets done quickly. So in the morning, the first thing I do is, it's kind of like we talked about the hierarchy. The first thing I'll do is pray, do my Bible study, because that comes first in my life, and then I'll work out that done before the kids. So that's a knock-on effect then for how the day goes. As soon as the kids get dropped off for school, my day's ready to go. And so it can look various different ways. I think with social media, it definitely opens up the door. Probably 100% of my first interactions are on social media, or someone that's seen me on social media and recommends me to someone else. And then the follow-up then becomes, I'm either reaching out to them as text messages, and then it becomes the hungry one. So remember, the social media is still massive value. I'm sure you talked about that. But sometimes that's just the initial interaction, and it's about how do you follow up, and then how do you present the business to them. So my day will vary depending on that. It could be a couple of face-to-face, it could be multiple Zoom calls, it could be a training, it could be any number of things. It could be shooting content for my social media, whatever it may be. But so each day is kind of unique, but there's certain things that need to get ticked off as the week goes.
think one of those things.
I'll say I reorganize my days. So Monday is my leadership day. And so I'm going to connect, and I have 20-minute calls, just like a check-in with my key leaders. They don't have to be level 1, but it's the ones that I'm working one-on-one with that I'm trying to drive their lines. And so Monday has become that day for me, and still back-to-back 20-minute calls. What did your last week look like? What do we need to tweak? What were you spending time doing? What are you looking forward to this week? How have your assessments gone? And so that's a Monday, and then I have Tuesday through Friday, which, like Frank said, your day looks so different, right? We'll have team calls, one-on-one calls scheduled, but then it's my time to work on my business. If I'm not, there's a big difference between working in your business and working on your business, right? And so I think that can get lost whenever you're driving lines, and especially getting really deep and wide. You're working on your business, but as you stop working in it, everything else slows, because we have to be in the trenches, and I'm not going to ask someone to do what I'm not doing. So I will spend an hour in the mornings. I kind of calendared it 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and I'm sending messages to, which yesterday I said, out of my contact book on my phone. I'm going old school for me. And I'm sending messages, warming people up. I want to get to know you again. I want to have a conversation with you again. And so let's say that's about 20 minutes. And then my next 20-minute chunk, I'm going to be inviting people into an assessment. So whether they're past customers that are on gut health, or they're already on collagen, or maybe they're skincare customers, because your skin is only as healthy as your inside, right? So don't knock out the people who are only skincare customers. Or maybe they're these relationships that have now trickled down from the warm-ups I've been doing in that first 20 minutes. And then I'll spend another 20 minutes of that time following up with people who, what is it, whenever you don't ghosted me. I was a professional ghoster, so I don't get offended. I'm like, you're coming around. I am you. You're not going to get away from me. I'm persistent, and you cannot shame me. So I'm going to follow up with you. And so I have a whole part of my day for the follow-ups. And then the rest of the day is going to, if I have extra time for social media, I'll put it in there, but I'm really trying to fill that time with assessments. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we've got a question from Margaret.
Yeah, thank you. My question is, I know in the US you work a lot with the builds, and when you start people, usually you start them earning up with the referral costs and not a kit, for example, like other market can do. What is your vision with the Prism? Like, how are you going to start people? Are you going to do the same system with your follow and the build, or are you going to do it differently? Like, yeah, I'm very curious about that.
So like onboarding someone?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great question. Referral post, I don't know about anyone on social media, they have not been the same. We were talking about this yesterday. So when someone joins the business now, We have a lot of people, since we've been on social, and this is kind of what we are pairing right now, but we have a ton of people who are still wanting a business on social, right? So we would start them off with a product party in their Facebook Messenger. We already, as Upline, have the graphics. They make a list of 20 to 30 people. You're going to send them a text message, and you're going to invite them to this party. And it's going to be Scanner, Verified Products, and Lumi Spa, and Gut Health, because New Biome is huge for us. So they're going to have these 20 to 30 people in this party. The parties they last about 48 hours, and they've been very successful. And some people are hitting halfway to LOI, and they've never posted on social media. They've just done this, and then we're asking for a list of 20 people who you think are interested in the business or could be good at the business. Don't even think about it, just the first 20 names. And then we're going to invite them. What am I inviting them to? An assessment. And because all roads lead to the assessment, because the whole idea of it is to show someone how simple our system is. And so they're a product of the system. We close them with a subscription. Now they're their first subscriber, and we talk about supplementing their income. So we're going to invite them to assessment, and then we're going to get them on stories on social media. But then starting our lists of our daily work of who can we find for you to do assessments with. And so it's kind of offline, online, integrated.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, next question.
Thank you. How do you deal with those times when you just kind of like, oh, I can't be bothered today. I don't feel it, I'm not feeling it. Just don't want to message anybody or I don't want to invite anybody. So yeah, give us a little tip there, if that's okay. Thanks.
I think I touched on it when I spoke, but I think it's really important to have systems in place that really, even on days that you're not motivated, that you're still knocking them out. And then when you have certain standards, like there's certain standards within my day, whether it be reach outs, like there's a standard, I want to work out every day, I have a plan A, and that's the first thing in the morning. And if it doesn't get done, then I'll not go to sleep at night, because that's who I believe that I became. So the same thing in the business, if you have a system in place, or you're going to do teach outs, or you're going to reach out to 5 people, or you're going to do one assessment, that getting ticked off every day, no matter how you feel, that will accumulate, and that will grow much further than you just having one day when you're going to have 10 assessments. The small accumulations that you can add on each day, they're going to compound and make a bigger impact in the long term. So I think it's just important if like creating what your standard is for the day and then never dropping below that.
That's so good. I would recommend everyone reading the 21 Mile March, if you were familiar with it or not. But it's about consistency over intensity. And so if you are making daily goals for a number of goals you're making, or a number of assessments, you need to make a goal that you do on your very worst day when you don't feel like doing anything and you still could do it, and on your very best day whenever you want to get 20 reps in, you're just going to stay consistent, because it's consistency over intensity all day. And then a little harsh thing, and I'm a little harsh, like I think you gotta have like a little tick in your brain to do this business, and I have a lot of ticks. And so one of my things is I always imagine looking at my kids, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a hard worker, but guys, if my hobby could be lounging, it would be lounging. I love to lounge. I have those days, but could I look at my child and say, you don't get to do soccer, club soccer. Club soccer is hundreds of dollars a month. And can I look at my son and say, Brody, I just didn't feel like working. So you can't play soccer this month because I don't have the extra money. And that's the tick in my brain. I could never, ever look at my child and say, you can't have what you deserve because I just didn't feel like doing it. And that's like, I have to have a bully inside my head to get me to do things sometime.
Thank you. Okay, Alison.
First of all, Frank and Abby, thank you so much for your time and so thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. We really appreciate everything that you've given to us. I'm a bit of a social numpty. When you talk about these Okay, so you've got the last 48 hours. How does that work?
No, yeah. So it's in Facebook Messenger. You can do a message group and add all the names to it, and you're just letting go at the ahead of time. This is a 48-hour party, so we're not offering sales. The only discount would be for us a subscription, which is coming for you guys. I'm understanding. I'm so excited, but that would be the only offer. But we're just saying you have 48 order in, and then there's no more posts. It kind of ends. You follow up with your customers. You can delete the group. No, just Facebook Messenger, so they can like scroll through. Now that would be. Okay,
Okay, next question.
Thank you. I guess it's a chat,
yes.
a messenger chat.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm so excited that you're here. And I haven't met you yet, Frank, but I'm excited to, I'm from the same pond, on that side. So my question was the assessments. What do you do in the session? Like, what do they expect? Or what do you do?
Yeah, so I let them know about what we're going to do. So I set the expectation. We're going to go over a range of health and wellness, lifestyle questions, and I am going to give you recommendations based on your answers. So they know I'm selling something to them. And throughout that assessment, we're just asking different questions. You can do this via Google form. I think the most powerful part is you do not send the assessment to someone. It's kind of like clinical work. You go to a doctor's office and they're asking you the questions and you're writing them down, or they're writing them down. That's how we do the assessments. So, what vegetables do you eat a day? How many ounces of water do you drink a day? Do you smoke? Do you work out? Do you walk? For females, we ask questions about the cycle. What's your number one health priority? And this makes it very easy because and obviously the number one question is, what are you willing to spend on your health a day? Is it $3 a day, $5 a day, $7 a day, $10 a day? And then it's how important is changing your lifestyle to you. So by the end of the assessment, you know where they're sitting, you know how much money they're willing to spend. And if someone's like $10 a day, but the importance of changing what is their pain point is at a 3, they're not getting for us, they're not gonna get on Lifetime. I already know that, so I'm not gonna offer them that. But it gives you're very powered. So anyone from a brand affiliate to a team elite can do this and have confidence doing it because they're giving you the answers and then you regurgitate to that. Okay, so your number one priority, which you have a lack of energy, you're constantly bloated. By the end of the day, your pants are too tight and you're very self-conscious about that. And you said that you're at level 9 of willing, this is important to you. You would do anything to not feel this way. And you can spend $7 a day. I have a recommendation for you. I think that LifePak is going to be as a foundation supplement for you, and it's going to help you with your energy. And we're going to add on this new biome, and it's going to decrease your bloat. It's clinically proven, and this is the amount of money it is, and so it fits in right with you. And here, we have Subscribe and Save, and so I can actually help you save 10% a day. Would you like me to help you set this account up? And so you're not selling them on anything that they didn't want. You're using all answers to tell them, I have something that can help you, and I can save money while we do it, and I can do it for you right now. And so that's kind of, is that?
All right. Oh, I'm over here. Okay, we got Tui's mum.
Sorry, I can't remember your name. Mary.
Hi guys, both are so amazing. Thank you so much. My question is, pretend that I'm
Miriam, the Cubist Ridiculous.
family, or pretend that I'm your friend on Facebook, or you haven't seen in a long time. Please call me and tell me about this. It's something that I really need to focus after this, and add on the supplement that will go well together.
Yeah, oh, put me on the spot. Do you want to take this one? A little role play, I love that. So the first thing, I think the most important thing is I would need some way to connect with you. I'm not doing cold calls, and so like I said, if I hadn't spoken to you, and you're a long family, extended, maybe you're kicked out, haven't seen you in family reunion in 3 years, I'm gonna make a connection. So if you're in my phone book, I'm going to someone's social media and seeing if they've posted, what's an update about their life, or if I remember something, like, so Frank is a Liverpool fan, and wrong role play, but I do know something about him, but I would be like, oh my gosh, Frank, I just thought of you, I saw Liverpool won the big game. He's a fan, I'm not, I don't know what they won, but like, and how are you doing? It's been forever. Last time we spoke was 3 years ago. And so then they're gonna reply to that, right? And so now I'm connecting us, and I already know, and so I'm looking for people who are slightly interested in wellness, right? Maybe they've posted something, maybe they've liked a post of mine about my transformation of being a burnt out, tired, overweight, depleted mom who transformed, who has energy. And so I'm gonna make that, this is terrible, role play female. It's Frank who loves Liverpool, who's also a burnt out mom. I'm gonna make that connection. So I already know the people who I'm connecting with, they're gonna want what I have. So I've made the connection, and then I'm like, I'm gonna let them reply, and then I'll reply back, and then they'll reply. So maybe we have 5, 6 exchanges, and then it's like, okay, Mary, off topic, but have you seen this nutritional wellness scale? I know that, you know, you've been going on your hot mom walks, hot glam walks. Like, I see you hustling. I see you taking care of yourself. I think that you'd be so interested in what I have. Get on a phone call. And so I know that was not the role play that you wanted, but it's like, when you're looking to connect to people, you already know something about them, knowing that they're going to be interested, and so you meet them where they're at, you make the connection over something that reminded you of them, and then you are like, I think you'd be interested in this because I see XYZ from you.
Thank you. Okay, we're on to lucky last question.
Hi, Abby and Frank. I've just got a question about business and recruiting. So I'm sure you know everyone in the room has had this same discussion, but how do you handle someone who comes to the business and they, you know, are flying and their partner isn't home? How do you, handle that in your team, and what, how far do you go? Because I'd be interested in knowing that answer.
I think Frank said, and I looked at him, and that kind of made it look like he wasn't supportive. Frank was really supportive. Remember, guys, I was depressed and miserable to be around, so I found a new hobby. He was like, yes, sell that toothpaste. So I didn't have that, but we've seen it a lot, so I think this would be a great one for you.
Yeah, I remember I was working insane hours at the time, and Abby was in a job that she was miserable with, and so I remember thinking, there's no point in both being miserable. You go and try something you might actually enjoy, and that's the conversation with that. But I think I have so many conversations with guys that have either struggled continuously. This is one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of people. I don't know what it is. It's getting, honestly, for the guys anyway, it's getting them. For me, one of the biggest impacts was going to Utah and seeing what U-Scam's about in the business side. I know not everyone can do that, but if you can put the spouse on a call or integrate them into what they're trying to do so that they have some sort of skin in the game. Because when Abby first started, I thought she was selling toothpaste from some crazy company. I had no idea that it was a multi-billion-dollar company, that there was so many incredible, successful people. It's usually lack of knowledge. And then from the husband standpoint, a lot of guys deal with, their spouses outgrowing them. Truly, they're getting a bigger paycheck than they are, and that's an internal thing that someone's got to deal with. it's really difficult to change someone into that. My only advice for that would be is to get them in the room and see that they can be part of it, or have them take ownership of it. And that's a beautiful thing. Like us with guys that can do like, how do I help my wife? Like, I want to help her, I want to support her, but I really don't know how. And always my answer has been, okay, supplementation, talk to your friend, like try and gain some knowledge on it and then open that door. But that's been so difficult. But now with Prism, I feel like this has really opened the door for guys to have a real interest in it. I've not sat down with a single guy that can't see how Prism would fit into their life. So I've sat down with guys that are personal trainers. It's a no-brainer for them because their money usually is made selling their time. So with Prism, you've opened up a door where they have income that's coming in that's generated every single month. So in the first of the month, they've already got money in their bank account, and that has never happened before because they're trading their time for money. So that's like the first step in. We talk about recruiting on that standpoint, and then other people see it with their family. So I would say exposure is probably the biggest thing, to have some sort of ownership, and then it just becomes a frank conversation where like we're both going to grow here. But when one person's outgrowing the other, that's really difficult to deal with if you need to have two people on board. I mean, and clear communications. Because again, when your stuff comes to you and you don't know anything about the business and say, I just hit Emerald, you're like, right, I don't know what that means. If you don't, so like it's talking about all the pins in it, when I was first, I was like, that's amazing, let's celebrate. I still had money. But the more I got into it, the more that I was around the people that are involved in this, the more that I fell in love with it as well. And so it just becomes about exposure and them taking ownership or them fitting within the company somewhere along the lines.
And I really do think that clear communication, because often, especially if people are working on social media, the husband who, and we're thinking this scenario because that's the only thing I can speak on. I have a male in business, the token. But what happens, I know, he's so beautiful. And so this wife, whether she was a stay-at-home mom or she has a job, all of a sudden she's on her phone. And maybe the laundry isn't done or the dishes aren't done, and I'm not trying to be anything in that, but it's true. And maybe now she's on her phone more and the husband's not getting attention and he doesn't know the company. He thinks it's a crazy company. He doesn't know, he's not involved in the goal planning, and he's like, you're just scrolling on your phone. And I think that's what we're seeing most often is the lack of communication and involvement. But when women are like, hey, this is what I'm doing on my phone. This is the way that you can help me. Can you get on this next call with me and listen? Because the leadership and the personal development is same. This is truly a personal development plan with a compensation attached. That's what we do, right? We build people. And so, will you get on this call for me? Hey, by the way, I have a call before. It's Thursday night at 8 p.m. The kids are supposed to be bathed and put to bed. It's like, on Wednesday or on Tuesday, hey, I've got this call. I know I usually do bedtime, but could you do it for me this night? And it's planning ahead, clear communication, the involvement, and things seem to be a lot happier when that happens.
Yeah. I'll just add one caveat to that. I was working in oil and gas before I went to Houston, and I was relatively successful. Everything was going really well and everything was growing. But I remember looking at Abby and thinking, she do what I love. She gets to coach people, she gets to build a business, she gets to hand select who she wants, and she gets to grow exponentially. Like I'm looking at how she's grown month over month, and I'm like, there's nowhere else you can do that. So if you can communicate clearly that we have a vision that we're going to win our own time and we can grow this thing into something way better than what we're doing right now, I think that helps with the buy-in mentality.
Thank you so much, you guys. We really, really appreciate it. It's so great. Thank you, Donna.
Gling, gling. Going.